Hello students, today we are going to learn about the figures of speech in English. So let us begin our topic. Figures of speech is a special forms of expressions used in order to make speech or writing more effective. It is an ornament of language. Figures of speech is an ornament of language. We use figures of speech in figurative language to add interest and to awaken the imagination of the reader. It makes the reader use their imagination and understand much more than the plain words. So figures gives beauty and variety to what we wish to say and lift it from a commonplace to a monotonous level. So let us begin the first figure of speech, that is simile. Simile is the figure of speech in which the comparison is made between two different things having point in common between them. A simile is usually introduced with the words as, like, so, as, etc. For example, the king was brave as a lion. Here, the king is compared with a lion with the use of the word as. So, it is simile. Likewise, the second example is as pretty as a picture. So, here as and as is used over here. So, it is simile. Likewise, the third example is, my love is like a red, red rose. So, here, love is compared with the rose with the use of the word like. So, it is simile. Now, the second one is metaphor. In this figure of speech, comparison is made without the use of the words as, like and so. For example, the sea is our mother. Here, sea is compared with the mother without the use of the word as, like and so. That's why it is metaphor. Likewise, the second example is variety is the spice of life. Here, variety is compared with life without the use of the word as, like and so. So, it is metaphor. Now, third one is personification. When non-living objects are given human actions, feelings or emotions is called personification. For example, a voice will run. Here we can see that voice is something which is non-living and running is a human quality. So, it is personification. Likewise, the second example is, let the floods clap their hands. Here, flood is something which is non-living and clapping is human quality. So, personification is used over here. Now, next is antithesis. In this figure of speech, opposite words are used for greater effect. For example, we look for light, but all is darkness. So here light and darkness, two opposite word is used in the same line. That's why it is antithesis. Likewise, the second example is, united we stand, divided we fall. Here united and divided, two opposite words used in the same line. That's why it is antithesis. Now next is internal rhyme. When words in the same line rhyme with each other is called internal rhyme. For example, I had a cat who wore a hat. Here cat and hat, these two words which are in the same line and they both are rhymed with each other. That's why it is internal rhyme. Likewise, the second is, the cattle fought a battle. So here cattle and battle, these two words rhyme with each other. That's why it is internal rhyme. Now next is oxymoron. When two opposite qualities describe the same thing at one and at the same time, it is oxymoron. So when two opposite qualities describe in the same line, that is oxymoron. For example, he is regularly irregular. Regularly and irregular, these two opposite qualities describe in the same line. That's why it is oxymoron. Likewise, the second one is, we are busy doing nothing. So, busy and doing nothing, these two opposite qualities describe in the same line. So, it is oxymoron. Now, next is irony. Irony is when one thing is said which means the exact opposite. It is humorous or lightly sarcastic mode of speech. For example, water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. So, this line says in a sarcastic way, so it is irony. Second one is, I must be taught my duty by you. So, it is irony. Now, next is hyperbole. In this figure of speech, the poet exaggerates or makes an overstatement to emphasize a point. For example, the food was so hot, my ears were smoking. So, in this example, we can see that something which is said, which is next to impossible. So, it is hyperbole. Poets exaggerate in the sentence. Likewise, the second example is, I am so tired, I could sleep a year. In this line, we can see that a person says that he is so tired that he could sleep for a year. We know that nobody could sleep for a year. So, it is exaggeration by the poet. So, hyperbole is used over here. Now, the next is litotes. In this figure of speech, a positive idea is considered by make the opposite negative. For example, Mr. Shah is not full. It means a person wants to say that Mr. Shah is clever. So here, a positive idea is considered by make the opposite negative. Likewise, the second example is the ice cream was not too bad. It means a person wants to say that the ice cream was good. So it is litos. When negative words is used in the line, it means litos is used over there. Now, next is euphemism. Here the poet refers to harsh facts in a mild way. It is mainly used in the context of death. For example, he passed away too early. Likewise, the second example is when the body perishes, all perish. So, it is mainly used in the context of death. That is euphemism. Now, next is pun. In this figure of speech, a word is used in more than one meaning. For example, he is model millionaire. In this line, model is stand for standard, or it can also stand for posing to be painted. Likewise, the second example is now you are man of weight. Here weight, we can say that it is given in a kilogram, or weight means power or influence of a person. Now, next is paradox. Paradox is a figure of speech where the statement appears absurd but contains the truth. For example, this is the beginning of the end. So it is appears like an absurd, but it is contains a truth. Likewise, the second example is I know one thing that I know nothing. It is sound like an absurd sentence, but it is containing the real truth. Now, next is epigram. It is a brief pointed saying which is introduced with an aim to surprise, excite and attract attention is called an epigram. For example, the child is the father of the man. So, in this line, we can see that the single line is pointed out which introduced with an aim to surprise, excite and attract an attention of other persons. Likewise, the second example is a stable tree is easily broken. So, it is a brief pointed saying which is introduced with an aim to surprise or to attract the attention. Now, next is metonymy. It means change of name. Here, a name or word is used instead of another. For example, will swear loyalty to the crown. Here, crown word is used in place of royal person instead of king. Likewise, the second example is, my dear, you have all my heart. Here, heart refer to love and emotion. So, it is metonymy. Now, the second one is synecdoche. When a part is used instead of whole, it is synecdoche. For example, beautiful are the feet that bring good news. So here, feet word is used instead of whole body. So it is synecdoche. Likewise, next example is, his face was tired. Here, face is used instead of whole body. That's why it is synecdoche. Now, next is repetition. When particular words are repeated in the same line is called repetition. For example, alone, alone, all alone. In this line, alone word is repeated in the same line. That's why it is repetition. Likewise, rain, rain, go away, go away. In this lines, rain and go away words are also repeated in the same line, that's why it is repetition. Next is tautology. In this figure of speech, there is an unnecessary repetition of words that are similar in meaning. For example, I love reading some autobiography of his own life. So in this line, autobiography and own life, these two words are used unnecessarily, that's why it is tautology. These two are similar words, autobiography and own life. Likewise, the second example is, it was a dull and gloomy night. So, dull and gloomy. These two words are used unnecessarily in this line, which have the similar meaning. That's why it is tautology. Now, next is climax. Climax is a figure of speech which rises in steps like a ladder from simple to more important. For example, he ran fast, he came first in the race, he was awarded a prize. So in this line, the words are given in increasing order. That's why it is climax. Likewise, the second example is, he came, he saw, he conquered. So it is also given in increasing manner. So it is climax. Now the second one is anticlimax. It is the opposite of climax. Anticlimax is opposite of climax. It is an arrangement of words in order of decreasing importance. For example, she lost her husband, her children and her purse. So these words are given in decreasing order, that's why it is anticlimax. Likewise, the second example is, he lost his family, his car and his cell phone. It is also given in decreasing importance, so it is anticlimax. Now next is alliteration. Here consonant sounds are repeated in a line. Alliteration consists of the repetition of the same sound or a letter at the beginning of two or more words. For example, dirty dogs dig in the dirt. Here D sound is repeated in the same line more than two or more time. That is why it is alliteration. Likewise, the second example is, cute cats cooking carrots. Here C sound is repeated more than 2 times, so it is alliteration. Now the next is anastrophe. Here the normal order of the words are reversed to suit the purpose of the poem. For example, ice cream I like. In this example, we can see that the normal order of our sentence pattern is reversed over here. Our normal order of sentence pattern is subject, verb and object. And the right sentence will become, I like ice cream. But the normal order is reversed over here. That's why the sentence is, ice cream I like. It is like a jumble word. So, anastrophe is used over here. Likewise, the second example is, bites he doesn't the dog. So, here also words given in jumble manner. So, anastrophe is used over here. Now, next is onomatopoeia. Here the sound of the words suggest or echo the meaning of the words. For example, the car whizzed past us. In this line, whizzed word is suggest a sound. That is why it is onomatopoeia. Likewise, the second example is, the snakes are hissing and the bees are buzzing. So here, hissing and buzzing, these two words are suggest a sound. That's why onomatopoeia is used over here. Now, next is transferred epithet. In this figure of speech, an adjective or attribute is shifted from its actual place to another place in the same sentence or line. In this figure of speech, a poet used a modifier. For example, the summer clouds are tired. We know that the clouds are not itself tired, but a person who are tired because of summer clouds. Likewise, the second example is, I had a wonderful day. We know that the day itself is not wonderful, but a person who had a wonderful day. So, wonderful is a modifier over here, which a poet used in the line. That's why it is transferred epithet. We shifted its actual place to another place. Now, next is exclamation. Here, an exclamatory form of sentence is used to draw greater attention to a plain statement. For example, wow, what a beauty. It is an exclamatory sentence, that's why exclamation mark is used over there. So it is exclamation. Likewise, the second example is, how sweet the moonlight sleep upon this bank. It is also exclamatory sentence, so it is exclamation. Now, next is apostrophe. Here, non-living objects directly addressed by the poet. Lifeless objects are spoken to as if they were living. For example, O liberty, why you so dear? In this example, we can see that liberty is something which is non-living and it's directly addressed by the poet, that why you so dear? So, here non-living objects are directly addressed by the poet. That's why it is apostrophe. Likewise, the second example is, O death, come soon. Here death is something which is non-living and it is directly addressed by the poet over here. That's why it is apostrophe. Now the last one is interrogation. Question is asked not for the getting answer but to create poetic effect. For example, what are you doing? And second example is, when will be raining in July? So these are the questions is asked not for the getting answer but to create the poetic effect in the poem. So when the question is asked in the poem, that is interrogation. So our topic figures of speech is completed over here. So at the end, I'll give you some shortest definition of figure of speech, which will become very helpful for you to remember all the figure of speech very easily, and it will become very helpful to you in your examination. Thank you.